Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Matt from the East, coming to you with the second installment of hopefully quite a few videos on how to become a model. How do I get into modeling? And so today I'm here to answer the last of your questions until more sent to me. So let's go ahead and move right along. First question that I've been asked quite a bit of these few that I'm going to cover in this video today is simply, if I want to become a model or eventually sign to an agency, do I have to pay to take modeling classes or do I have to go to modeling school? I've actually met quite a few people who have decided to go to modeling school, and I think more power to you. The more, in general, just the more knowledge you have, the better. And that's really dope if that's something that you decide to do, because in the end, you're just investing into yourself and you're only giving yourself a better chance at not looking stupid, at having more knowledge on what you're jumping into. So that's great if you do decide to do that. I always encourage everybody to pursue higher education, to go after enhancing your knowledge on whatever you're getting yourself into. With that being said, in order to become a professional model who is signed to an agency or has a representation at all, you do not have to go to modeling school, and you do not have to go to modeling classes. If you ever come across an agency, let's say, that says that you have to sign or you have to sign up for these classes or go to the school, you might want to do a little background check on a little bit of who they are, what they represent, what they stand for. Because in my opinion and from my experience, if anybody is trying to push you and force you to do something that is ringing some bells, you might want to just look into that. For the most part, most reputable agencies won't make you do that. From my experience, I can't speak for all, but I know that they won't try to make you do that. I'm signed to 3 different agencies and nobody's tried to make me do anything. They've suggested things, but you should always have an option of deciding to move forward with it or not. With that being said, though, I kind of touched on this in a little bit. I think I did on my last video, but I did decide to move forward with modeling and acting classes. This was not forced upon me at all. But you just have to remember, when I first came into modeling, I was very much aware that I had zero experience at all. Like, my Instagram pictures looked like they needed some work. No, but on a serious note though, like, I didn't have any experience with modeling at all, and so I had realized the importance of, investing into myself. I was like, you know what, this is something that I want to do. I enjoy modeling. If I'm going to put my time and energy into this, I might as well be good at what I do. And so I took some modeling classes, and at the school that I was going to at the time, I took some acting classes as well. And it's benefited me greatly. But just for clarification, your agencies should not require you to take any type of modeling or acting classes. However, though, if you have zero experience and they suggest it, it should be for your best interest, but they can't make you do that. But you should also at the same time be willing to want to enhance yourself. So if you're not willing to do any type of classes that they suggest, aren't trying to make you do it, that they suggest, definitely find a way, find something to really push you, move you forward so you can evolve as a model and or actor, actress. Next question that I've received quite a bit of: how does pay work? And do I have to pay my agency or my agents or managers? So pay is a little, how do I say, frustrating from time to time. Reason why I say pay can be frustrating, because it's not like working a day-to-day 9 to 5 job where you get paid every 2 weeks or you get paid at the end of your work week, right? So first off, work with modeling usually is not consistent unless you are a very recognizable model and you're on the, I guess, the schedule, or you're on the roster for a lot of different people, and they're consistently shooting. Otherwise, pay is a little more consistent and it's easier to gauge exactly when you're going to get paid. Not to say that you can't gauge when you're going to get paid, but it's easier to do it if you're working more consistently. But pretty much how pay works, it varies per job, right? So let's say if I shot with Adidas a month, let's see what, I shot with Adidas September 11th. I'm not getting paid from that check for another 2 weeks. Reason being is there's all the content review and the approval, and then there's just all this process that has to be gone through on their end, and then they forward everything to your agency, and they have to go through a specific regimen as well. And once everything checks through on both ends, once the check is received, then the check is cleared, and it's cleared through their banks, then they can send you the check. The bigger the project, the longer it takes. So for example, that Adidas shoot that I did, what was it? That was about a month, almost a month and a half ago. Or I receive a check from them every month and a half. So about every 45 days, I receive a check from them for my shoot that I do with them. Versus, let's say, it's hard to really gauge because every project is different. But like versus, let's say, if I do a huge campaign job, that check may take 4 or 5 months. And so it varies, but some people they will pay you, right after you finish shooting, which is a little more rare, but it's great when that happens. I love it. But some people pay you, like I said before, as soon as you finish shooting. Some people will pay you at the end of the work week if you're there for multiple days. And so it's just different for each company. So I can't really make a blanket statement for every single job, because every job is different. Every project duration is different. The processing is different. Everything is different. So that answers your question, but I know it's not the question. It's not the answer that a lot of you wanted to hear. But that's one of the harsh truths, and one of the frustrating truths of the modeling industry. But I'm moving right along. Do I have to pay my agency, which means your agents, and my managers? Yes, you do, but indirectly. So back to the Adidas example I just gave. I just worked with them not too long ago. Once that check comes in, 20% of that check is distributed based off of the agreement that I signed in my contract. 20% of that check is given to my agency. That 20% is distributed to the agents, the well-being of the agency to continue running, and my manager. And so that's how that works. The 20% thing is very standard across the board. For the most part, having to pay 20% is pretty unavoidable. I'm sure unless you know Winnie Harlow or somebody on her level, you can try to find a way to get around having to pay 20%, maybe 17%, 15%. But for the most part, for the common model, even the bigger models, a lot of people, 20% is standard. And so that's how that works with that. You don't have to write a physical check yourself every week and be like, okay, I got to pay them this, or it's the first of the month, I got to pay my agency $5,000. That's not how that works. And so it's really just based off of how much you work. So let's say if I booked 4 times last week, from each of those jobs that I did, 20% of each of those checks is allocated to my agency, and they distribute to my mother agency. The agency that booked the job, which would be my mother agency, unless I booked through a different agency. But 20% of each of those checks is given to them, and so that's how that works. I hope that is clear. Let's see. And the last question that I have been asked quite a bit is, and this is actually the biggest one. I gotta be a little dramatic. Gotta save the best for last. So the last question is: do I have to look like I have flawless skin? Do I have to have a perfect body like I see in the magazines, like I see on the commercials? No, you do not at all. That's one of the biggest misconceptions, that people think that models have to be perfect skin, and their idea of perfect skin, in my opinion, is flawed to begin with. A lot of people think that perfect skin means you can't have any type of discoloration, you can't have vitiligo, you can't have freckles, you can't have even really intense bone structure, you can't have a unique look to you, you can't have really small ears, big ears, whatever. No, that is not the case at all. That is not true. And for you to think that those are imperfections, that's really sad. I just want to let you guys know that differences are celebrated more now than ever. Back in the day, that's one thing. Differences were not celebrated at all, and they just wanted the blonde hair, blue eyes, that type of look. But now, the modeling industry is evolving quite a bit, and differences are being celebrated more and more and more. I actually know quite a few people who are killing the game right now. They got their freckles popping, they doing their thing with their different stuff going on, and more power to them. I love it. I love being able to see the diversity in the modeling industry. And so you do not have to have the ideal perfect skin. You can have a fat gap in between your teeth, and still be killing the game. But anyways, that's skin conditions and differences in your skin. As far as acne goes, as far as just not clear skin, or maybe have some type of eczema, or I don't know what else, but or just naturally dry skin, or oily skin, or whatever. Even then, people with those types of conditions still thrive in the modeling industry. You'd be very surprised. Now, it is expected of you to take care of your skin to the best of your ability to be as presentable as possible. But just because you have a skin condition or you don't have ideal skin, that doesn't mean that you can't model. Definitely not. Let's see. Photoshop is a thing. Airbrush is a thing that is used for dang near every single print project. And so whatever you have, let's say you have severe eczema, or you have little bumps around your eyes, or you have really bad allergies or whatever, let's say. I've had allergic breakouts on set a few times before. I don't know what I'm allergic to, so it's kind of hard for me to take care of that sometimes. But I've had allergic breakouts on set a few times. That's nothing that can't be taken care of. First off, they put makeup on you. Second off, they thoroughly edit everything. With that being said, there are people that look like their pictures. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely people who look at the pictures. Like I have a homegirl actually whose pictures I saw on Nike, and then I met her in person, and I was like, whoa, your skin is really this perfect. But then there are other people, you know, who they are good looking people, they are models, but they don't look exactly what they look like in the print, in the commercial, whatever. And that's cool too, you know, because at the end of the day, it's about the skill set that you bring to the table. It's not always about being perfect. I don't want you to think that you have to be perfect to be model, because you don't. I am far from perfect, and I've somehow managed to finesse myself into the modeling industry. So if I can do it, I absolutely know you guys can do it too. So as far as skin goes, no, you do not need to have perfect skin. You need to take care of it. Absolutely. Drink your water, drink your lime juice, wash your face, take care of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Get plenty of vitamin D, wear your sunscreen if you burn easily. The basics, you know. So that's as far as skin goes. Now as far as body care goes, do you need to have a perfect body? And do the people that you see in these advertisements have perfect bodies to begin with? Like I said before, Photoshop is a thing. Sometimes they will do a little edits to make you look a little bit more cut, to make you look a little bit more thin. That's starting to, from my experiences anyways, that's kind of starting to phase out a little bit. They're looking for more natural, or more natural is favored. And when I say more natural, I mean pretty much what you bring to the table. If it means less work for the photographers or the editors, then that's, from my experience again, if it means less work for them, then that's easier to work with. Let's say, for example, if I go out for a shoot for super muscular guys in their early to mid 20s, and they like my face, but clearly I'm a very medium-sized guy. Like I'm 6'1", 180. I'm a very medium-sized guy. I mean, I'm in shape, but I'm not super muscular, you know what I'm saying? And so they could edit my body to make me look a little bit, you know, more, but that's more work, and so it'll just be a lot easier to just hire somebody that fits that description. And so, on my end though, as far as taking care of my body, I do exercise. I'm also a track athlete, so that makes it a little easier for me. But even if I was not a track athlete and I was into modeling, I would definitely suggest to you all exercise. Absolutely take care of your body. As advertised on your comp cards, as advertised in your portfolio, as advertised on your details on your agency's website that have advertises everything for you. So take care of yourself, take care of your skin, take care of your body, make sure you eat. Even if you like to get your rest, wake up in the morning, eat your breakfast. It's important to get your meals in. Even if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to diet, you absolutely want to get your food in. You do not want to be skipping meals. That's not the way to lose weight. If you're trying to lose weight, that only does worse for your body. So that's everything I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I really appreciate you sending in these questions and concerns. So hopefully I answered everything thoroughly and pertaining to the finances, the classes, agency checks, how to work around with your managers, and the skin. If you guys have more questions or concerns, please feel free to hit me up in the DM, on YouTube, in the comments, on Instagram. My Instagram name is @MattFromTheEast, spelled MattFromTheEast. I'll be more than happy to respond to any questions or concerns that you guys have. I love doing these videos, so keep me busy. Alright, peace!